Namaskar, everybody. I was trying to size up whether this would be short enough for me and whether I would have to stand on tiptoe, which I always have to do when it comes to a podium. And yes, I am standing on tiptoe in spite of my heels because I'm not carrying my box. If Arunab is he here? Arunab Singh? I think, thank you so much for making this really difficult for me. I have nothing new to say. I don't have a presentation. I don't have any music. I don't have any slides. And everything that I wanted to say has already been said. So I'm going to actually whiz through. What Aruna showed us was how critical it was for schools in the future, schools at any time, to be responsive to the world and to be relevant. Without responsiveness and relevance, we really have absolutely no place in the world. Secondly, what struck me about Healthy Planet, which is such an amazing concept, is the intergenerational learning and most critically, the focus on communities. I have always felt that schools are communities. You cannot have schools, you cannot have successful schools unless they build and grow and learn together. So, navigating the unknown, preparing learners, empowering school communities to be future ready. A future we can't predict, we don't know what's going to happen. We know that uncertainty is the only certainty and change is constant. Think about what we see every day: volatility and complexity in geopolitical conflicts. And with many world leaders, you wake up in the morning and wonder, what is he going to say today? Economic tsunamis, technological advances that signal the end of career paths as we have known them. Escalating cybersecurity threats, and schools across the NCR have felt those shocks over the last several months. Accelerating climate change, and we've begun to feel its impact, like extreme weather, habitat destruction, widespread pollution, growing food and water insecurity due to unsustainable practices that we continue to follow. And of course, the elephant in the room is AI and the risks of AI-driven disinformation. I'm going to talk about what very few schools admit. Oh, I've got a stool. Thank you. Thank you, young man. This is so much better. Thank you. And that is the mental health challenges that our young people are facing today. An estimated 20 to 25% of young people experience anxiety and depression. The National Mental Health Survey 2015-16 pointed out that there 7.3% of our adolescents are suffering from issues and mental disorders. So what are the key stressors? Number one, intense academic pressure. Number two, fear of failure. And in this regard, I urge you to read an amazing book by a gentleman called Manu Kapoor, who talks about productive failure, where he says, in order to learn, we need to fail. Failure is our best teacher. So why don't we design lessons in such a way that you can't really crack the code and you have to work harder and harder and harder? Pick up the book if you can. This societal expectations and the fear of failure are contributing to very high rates of anxiety and depression, and sadly making suicide the leading cause of death for the 15 to 29-year-old age group. Again, we all wake up and read the papers and see our news feed, and every single day there has been a young person who has said, I have failed, I can't do this anymore, and have taken the final decision. We have to. We have to do something about this. We can't let this continue. How do we secure our students' well being for an increasingly unstable future? A future, incidentally, where they feel socially completely isolated, in spite of being connected online 24/7. We know that social media promotes very superficial online interactions, replacing face to face connections and fostering feelings of loneliness. Studies show a direct link between heavy use of social media and increased feelings of loneliness and depression. Of that, there is no doubt. In fact, I've had students telling me, I don't need to make friends, ma'am. I have Chat GPT. I said, excuse me? Yep. Chat GPT is my friend. And I'm saying, you can't see this friend. And he said, it was a he, the person was he said, it doesn't matter, ma'am. Chat GPT responds to me. Chat GPT is attentive to what I have to say. Chat GPT listens. And Chat GPT is kind. And I took his name and said, are you crazy? It's an algorithm. He said, it doesn't matter. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel loved. So I find that scary. Very, very scary. Commercial big tech is rapidly reshaping how children learn with the promise of personalized learning. 2 days ago, Nobel Prize winning economist Michael Kramer unveiled in Andhra Pradesh an amazing initiative. This was called PAL, Personalized Adaptive Learning Model, which, when students used it, the findings were that they had learning gains in mathematics of 1.9 years in 1 year. It was that quick. And so now it's going to be rolled out into 45,000 government schools in Andhra Pradesh. I think it's wonderful. I think it's brilliant. But there's another question that troubles me. Why are apps? Why is big tech? What is emerging is that there's a great divide. App-based instruction for the masses and human tutoring, the one-on-one, the intellectual exchange reserved for the elite. Why? Another question troubles me. Why are apps rooted in gamification behavior design? Techniques developed to maximize screen time are now standard in classrooms. Why is the child's future now assumed to be digital by default? Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, Sweden has allocated 104 million euros to bring physical books back into the classroom. There have been concerns over the fact that children are getting eye strain, are losing social skills, and there is a reduced focus due to the increase in digital tools. What they are trying to do is to work on a balance of digital tools and traditional learning methods. Now, the word balance is something I like. I think it's what we need to just keep that at the back of our minds because it is going to be central to our preparation for an unfolding future. It's a future where children, school leaving students, are asking me, what is the point, ma'am, in my getting an undergraduate degree? It doesn't lead to a job. There is a critical mismatch between what traditional degrees offer and what the modern job market is demanding and changing. Those demands are changing every day. Our old notions of engineering degrees mean nothing in an AI driven coding society. Computer science, one of the most sought after college degrees, is now one of the careers most impacted by AI. So the young are paying a hard price. Meanwhile, parental aspirations and anxiety are at an all time high. And they are wondering what is the entry ticket to a successful job? There is a wonderful publication, digital publication in Bangalore called The Ken. I don't normally endorse books, publications, etc., but I urge you to take a look at their platform. And they say the future is about mastering three things. Number one, how to think and learn. We keep talking about critical thinking, but as educators, have we been trained to ensure that we develop lessons that train young people, encourage them to think? I don't know. Number one is that mastering how to think and learn. Two, develop specialized skills. And three, a foundation for lifelong resilience. The young gentleman, Mr. Anand, who spoke about sport, passionate and inspiring. I do believe, I have always believed, that learning happens outside the classroom. It happens in the field. You gain the skills in a theater class, in a music class, in a dance class, not necessarily in a classroom. And I wish you well. And schools will need to factor that. Yes, it is still a subject which is co-curricular, if you want to use the phrase. And it is still a subject where if you don't give your physics homework, you will lose your PE lesson. 2 hours a week is what we give, whereas we should be giving 45 minutes a day minimum for active physical workouts. So let's start making changes with the curriculum. Changes that build mindsets over memorization, focus on teaching curiosity, thinking and communication. We will need to learn how to use AI for learning, and this will require us as teachers, definitely me as a septuagenarian, to think deeply and to know how to think deeply and critically, to be more self-reflective and aware. We'll also have to learn how to guide AI, because this will require us to collaborate with other people, therefore calling for greater teamwork, greater empathy, and greater creativity. What sets us apart from the algorithms is our emotional quotient. And that's what we will need to build in our children again. Interestingly, the Ken pointed out that the secret ingredient that will make the most talented, creative, ambitious, or hardworking humans become better is attention. And attention is what ChatGPT mirrors. It's an engine for attention. We are losing our attention, handing ourselves over to algorithms. I'm not a Luddite. I do believe in AI, but it has to be harnessed and used according to the way we want it. And they say that in the future, if we bring our whole self to the tasks that matter, and that is what Dr. Mahesh Prasad mentioned, mindfulness in the present, that will be our superpower. But we can only do this if we get parents on board. And in schools, we invite parents for all sorts of things. Annual day, reading day, this day, that day, parent-teacher conference. But we never have them in a room like this and talk to them about the reality of what is going to happen and what is happening. And how can we resolve this? How can we find solutions together as teachers, as parents, and include our senior school children in it? I wish that would happen. And finally, it is my belief that preparing for the unknown is about mindset, values, and community strength that Arunab spoke about. And I think we may also have to redefine what we mean by success. Success, my time's up, oh heck, sorry. Success is not, it's not about running for happiness, chasing happiness, which is not available in the world, and looking at jobs and salaries. Success is being at peace with yourself, having a sense of self, being able to give of yourself to others, and see yourself as that as being interconnected with people and the world. Thank you very much, and I'm so sorry I overran.